What's up YouTube, this is Boston-X79 guys. Today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile video for May 2020. And today guys, we're looking at my updated Blackwing deck. Now, a few weeks ago I did an EDO Pro replay of me testing out a particular build. The deck was solid, could put up some pretty interesting interruptions, had some pretty nice little tech cards in the extra deck that can really cause your opponent some issues as well. Been playing around with the deck a little bit more in real life, and found some more extenders for the deck to be able to use, as well as another main deck piece that can really mess up your opponent's plays in this particular meta. So, without further ado, we're going to turn around and jump right into this. As always, first things first, monsters, we're going to be doing one copy of Blackwing Oyster, the North, or the South Wind, excuse me. Oyster, when it's normal summon, can target a banished Blackwing monster, special summon to your field. And from there, it's a level 4 synchro. You can go into various synchro plays, or even exceed plays if you want, because if you bring back a level 4, you can overlay. While this card's in the graveyard, you can do some cheeky things with some black feather counters. By banishing it from the graveyard, you can place black feather counters on all your opponent's cards, and that can actually pair well with full Honor Master's field nuke effect. So, very awesome card to have. We have one copy of Blackwing Blizzard of the Far North. We're only running one copy of both of these normal summons, primarily because they are normal summons, and they require to have a bit more of a setup to really get going. Blizzard, anybody who's played Blackwing knows what Blizzard does. You normal summon it, you target a Blackwing monster that's in your graveyard, that's level 4 or lower, special summon it back to your field, defense position, and from there you can go into your level 6 synchro plays. Moving forward, we get into the real meat of the deck. The old school Blackwings, which are not hard ones per turn, special summons, which everybody should be running at 3 in their decks, and that's going to be Blackwing Boar the Spear. Awesome card. As long as you control another monster that isn't Blackwing Boar the Spear, you can keep special summon them out over and over again, including multiple times during the turn with the same monster if you bounce it back to your hand via Zephyros. So, all around, it's just an amazing card to have. It can also inflict piercing damage. And then we also have 3 copies of Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Gale the Whirlwind is another free special summon while you control another Blackwing monster on the field. Pretty damn awesome. Also has a very cool effect if you saw one of my replays, especially the one against Dragoon. You know how awesome this card is. Get this card on the field, you can activate its effect, cut a monster's attack in half, and by repeatedly bringing the card back, you can use that effect over and over again to really reduce the attack power of a problematic card. It is a level 3 tuner monster, so you could go into other synchro plays, so definitely an awesome card. Only one copy of Blackwing Gladius, the Midnight Sun. Gladius kind of really restricted on how you can bring it out on the field. You only can be controlling one of the monster, and that one of the monster has to be a Blackwing. So really you want to be seeing this in your starting hand most of the time. So definitely something to really just be wary about. But it is level 3, and pairing it with Gale can get you into your nothing. So definitely worth having in this deck. Free bodies on the board are always good things in this. And now I'm going to come into a little bit more of the new school. Gladius was the first, but now we're going to be getting into other ones like Blackwing Harmattan, the Dust. All the newer Blackwing cards have a hard once per turn on special summoning themselves from your hand. I know, it kind of sucks because you can't really flood your field as much as you could with the old school cards, but they still are damn useful. Extra bodies on board means you can do a lot of different things with this deck, especially once we get into the extra deck. You'll see the lake monsters we're running. Harmattan, very cool. Free special body, and you can even play around with his levels by targeting another Blackwing monster to up its own level by that other monster's level. So you could have this plus a Gale in the field, target a Gale, it becomes a level 5. Gale plus this now level 5 Harmattan can get you into a level 8 synchro, aka Burrowed Savage Dragon, which is actually damn awesome. And it just helps out the deck overall. Next one is going to be Blackwing Chris, the Crack of Dawn. Crack of Dawn Getting free body on the board is 1900 attack. And I can tell you right now, this card does make a lot of sense to have at 3, primarily because if you don't have anything good to normal summon with Black Whirlwind, this card is something very awesome because it's 1900. You can pretty much search everything else in your deck into your hand via this card's normal summon. So definitely, it is worth a normal wasting a normal summon on. Bringing it out with a special summon also gets you free bodies and allows you to do other things. So can't be destroyed by spell or trap cards effects. So that's actually pretty cool. So awesome. 2 copies of Blackwing Orochi. The Squall Orochi is one of my favorite level 1 tuners in this deck. Primarily because since it is a level 1, you're allowed to take a level 7 Synchro and knock it up into a level 8. Again, getting you into your Borreload Savage Dragon plays, which is actually pretty cool. And when this card is used for a Synchro summon, you can actually target one of your opponent's monsters and flip it face down. So that's also a pretty neat trick there. And can be very instrumental in breaking up your opponent's boards. And last but not least, we have 2 copies of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Zephyros the Elite, level 4 monster. Again, you can normal summon it, but typically you can be special summoning off of other card effects that we have in extra deck, or bringing it back out of the graveyard. Whenever you bring this card back into the graveyard, you have to bounce one card that you control off the field. Typically, you want to try to bounce something that you can get back on the field, like a Bora or a Gale. Send that card back to your hand, special summon this card back out onto the field. You can only use this effect once per duel, but hey, you could bring back the other monster again and just be able to go into other plays. So definitely always worth having in the deck. Alright, for the extenders, I'm actually running 2 copies of Caligo Claw Crow. All you really require is to have another Dark Attribute monster on the field, and hey, Blackwings are all Dark Attribute, so it's a natural extender in this deck. Just to get additional bodies on the board, and it is Wing Beast as well, so it does fit very well with the synergy of this deck. You can only find this in the starter deck that had the rank up Magic Variance Force spell card, but it is worth the investment if you have a few squirreled away. So definitely this is something that I'm kind of happy that I actually managed to squirrel away a long time ago. So moving on for some more typical stuff that you're going to see Mist Valley Apex Avian, and of course Mist Valley Thunderbird. Yes, we are running the Mist Valley Apex Avian's Infinite Loop Negate here in this deck. It is very easy to get this out in this deck, so it's a no-brainer in that particular matter, and it just fits so well, given multiple uses of Omni Negate can really hurt your opponent's chances of trying to win. And of course, the real spicy tech card that I have in here is 1 copy of Darksome Org. Darksome Org, again, Dark Attribute Wind Beast monster. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing a Wind Attribute monster and a Dark Attribute monster from your graveyard. That's pretty easy if, say, Thunderbird manages to go into the graveyard. Just saying, it can happen. If this card's in the graveyard, you can actually banish a Wind Attribute monster and a Dark Attribute monster from your hand. You can actually get this card out with the Simorg Link as well during your end phase. So there's a lot of different ways to actually get this card out on the field. And once this card hits the field, your opponent's not sitting any cards. Yeah, let me just pause a second here. Your opponent's not sitting any cards. Yeah, things like Eldritch are going to hate seeing this card hit the field, primarily because that basically means they're not playing their traps. No traps, that basically means they're going to have to turn around and waste time trying to get this card off the field using probably Golden Lord's effect and probably the continuous spell as well. And if you're already established at least 1 Omni Negate on the board, you can pretty much block that spell from being activated and they don't have an out. Yeah. And of course, we do have another tuner. We got Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. Very awesome card. Again, it's a Wind Attribute monster, so it does blend well with utilizing its effect, attribute for getting out Darksome Org once it hits the graveyard. Can generate tokens when it hits the graveyard. So definitely it is an amazing card to have. Level 2 plus level 4 is a level 6 synchro, so very awesome. And of course, since this is a Dark Attribute deck, we are running Destruction Sword, primarily because Destruction Sword can be equipped to any Dark Attribute or Dragon type monster that's on the field, power boosting it by 1,000 attack via Union Carrier's effect, and then it locks your opponent out of the extra deck, and just having a setup where you have multiple omni-negates and the ability to lock your opponent out of your of the extra deck does hurt a lot. Okay, going into the spells, 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. This is a dark deck, so it is a natural fit. 3 copies of Black Whirlwind. You might have noticed I'm not running Simoon in this deck. I know it kind of seems very weird, but the primary reason why I'm not running Simoon is basically because it locks you into Dark Attribute summons, and that can be very detrimental, especially when you start extending into your extra deck, because there are several extra deck monsters that are not Dark Attribute, and that can really put a damper on what you can do. So you want to be able to see Black Whirlwind very easily. That's why we're running 3. So definitely something you want to be keeping your eyes on. Opening up multiples does help this deck get off really fast. 1 copy of Foolish Burial, send your Dark Simorgh or your Sephiroth the Elite into the graveyard. Monster Reborn, bringing back any monster from either player's graveyard. Always a great card to have in any deck. Part of Harvest because, hey, Synchro decks love recycling their materials and being able to utilize their plays over and over again. So definitely you want to have at least 1 copy of this card in your deck. If you want to up this card to maybe 2, I would probably suggest knocking down another extender. Rank up Soul Magic Shade Force. This is something that you want to have in this deck because it allows you to turn your rank 4 Raid Raptor Xyz monster into a rank 6 Infinity Dragon, which is an Omni-Negate, and it can also slurp up your opponent's monsters, allowing you to get more negates out of it. So definitely, yes, something you want to have in your deck. Does cost half your life points when you activate it, but hey, you're going to have to turn around and pay to play it sometimes. 1 copy of World Legacy Succession, bringing back a monster to a zone Link Master points to. Not a bad idea. For a little extra extension. You can always drop this card for an additional Pot of Harvest, in my opinion. And then last, but not least, we have 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence. I actually like this card in my deck, because this deck doesn't really have room for hand traps. This is the only hand trap in it, and it does allow you to negate monster effects that are on board, which is actually pretty cool. If you activate when it's set, you can actually lock out cards that are in the same column. So it does have some utility in it. That's why I really like having a trap card in this deck. If you don't like this and you still want to have a more going first style build and you're afraid of your opponent's hand traps, Call by the Grave is definitely something you could put in over this. And if you want to play a more go second build, Dark Roll no more. So that's it for the main. For the extra, 1 copy of Blackwing Full Armor Master. Full Armor Master can't be targeted by other card effects, which is actually pretty damn awesome. Makes it very problematic to get off your field. Not only that, but it has some pretty awesome tricks with cards that have black feather counters on them. It can take control of those monsters, or it can just basically nuke all monsters carrying Blackwing counter or black feather counters on them. So definitely a card you want to have in your extra deck. Blackwing Tamer Hawkjoe. Very awesome card. Allows you to redirect attacks onto other Blackwing monsters you control, which is actually pretty awesome. Can also bring back other Blackwing monsters from, or Wing Beast Synchro monsters from your graveyard, if memory serves me correctly. Blackwing Raikiri, the Rain Shadow. This is a very awesome Blackwing. One of the Assault Blackwings, and with the number of other Blackwing monsters you have on the field, you can actually blow up that many equal number of cards. So it's a bit of a field control style card. Definitely worth having in your deck as a level 7 Synchro. And of course we got Blackwing Nothing to Starlight. Synchro summon this card out, hit your opponent with 800 points of effect damage, which is actually pretty cool. Get them closer to 0, easier wins. It also gives you an additional normal summon of a Blackwing monster per turn, and that can set off even more searches if you have multiple Black Whirlwinds on the field. So definitely some you need to have in this deck. For a few other Synchro monsters, I like playing Cyber's Quantum Dragon, primarily because whenever this card attacks one of your opponent's monsters, it actually bounces it off the field back to your opponent's hand, and then it gains an additional attack. And that attack can be a direct attack as well, so 2500 attack. It is a dark attribute, so you can attach something and it, like Destruction Sword to it to power boost it to 35. Very awesome, and just a nasty card, especially if you control a Link monster, because then your opponent has to target it for attacks and card effects, so you're actually protecting your other monsters as well. And last but not least, we have Borolo Savage Dragon. Oh man, this is a great Omni-Negate here. Get this guy onto the field, you can target a Link monster in your graveyard, equip it to it, and then it gains Boro counters equal to the Link monster's rating. And you can remove those counters to negate monster effects, spells, and traps, so definitely worth having in your extra days. And it's pretty easy to get out as well, so... Moving forward, we have Xyz. Well, I mentioned this before with Mega Magic Soul Shaver Force. Ray Raptor Force tricks detaching material can search any Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand, which is just awesome synergy between two different archetypes. When you link this card off, you bring it back with the Soul Shave Force, and then you automatically rank up its Cyber Dragon Infinity, which basically gives you another Omni-Negate on the field by detaching materials that it has to negate monster effects, spells, and traps. So, all around, a great package to have. Going into your extra deck, one copy of Ray Raptor Y-Strix. Y-Strix on summon, special summons a Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck to your field. This allows you to continue your plays, and if a Dark Wing Beast monster, Xyz monster activates effect, you can immediately search out a rank up magic card from your deck to your field. And of course we have Soul Save in this deck, and that just allows you to go into different plays. Very awesome card. You need to have this because this is a synchro deck. Crystron Hacker Fubex, definitely card you have to have it in a synchro based deck. On summon, special summons a level 3 or lower tuner monster from your deck to your field. Typically you're searching out your Olion, but if you have Olion maybe in your hand, you can go for Gales or Orochis. Really doesn't matter because this allows you to extend even further. One copy of Union Carrier, pretty easy. All you need is two monsters with the same type or attribute. This is pretty much a monotype and mono attribute deck, so it's pretty easy to actually get this card out on the field. Once it's on the field, you can activate its effect and equip a monster from your deck to another monster with the same attribute or type. In that particular case, you're looking to equip Destruction Sword to a Dark attribute or Thunderbird to a Wind attribute monster. IP Masquerada definitely is a Link monster you have to have in every extra deck because she's just an amazing Link too. Allows you to Link summon during an opponent's turn, so that's why she's in any extra deck. We got Samorg, Bird of Sovereignty. This is an amazing, awesome card in this deck. Allows you to special summon any Wing Beast monster from your deck to your field during either player's end phase, and that just can hurt your opponent so much. You get Omni-Negates, you can just lock out their ability to play trap cards. So yes, definitely a card worth having in your deck. And then I run two Link 4s, Borosword and Avermax. Borosword basically for OTK potential, and Avermax is in there basically the combo with Cyber's Quantum Dragon, just to create a bit of a lock to prevent your opponent from being able to attack any of your other monsters on the field. And from there, they're going to have real hard times dealing with Cyber's Quantum and this card at the same time. So, always great to have both of these cards available to you. Guys, that is it for my Blackwing deck for May 2020 format. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Check out the description box below. Find the links to my affiliates, tcgplayer.com, great resource to get into cards you need to build decks, as well as sidedeckversus.com, where you can actually help build your side decks for competitive play. Check me out on social media, Twitter and Reddit, and also check out my Discord server. You'll find the invite link in the description box as well. Guys, until next time, as always, peace.